Hey guys, how's it going? Gonna give you a quick little intro to this video I'm shooting. This is gonna be of last season's, the second buck I shot, the second whitetail. Winds up being the biggest whitetail buck I've ever shot with my bow. Just a stud of a buck. I think he scored 165 and 3/8. Super pumped, super proud of this buck. This is the recovery video of that buck after I'm out of the stand. I'm kind of following up on the shot and that sort of stuff. So just a quick video of that. Quick history of this buck. I actually saw him the year before. The season prior, I had already tagged out in November on 2 great whitetails with my bow. Then, sure enough, this buck shows up after that and just kind of stuck around the rest of the season. I was already tagged out. I wasn't hardly in the area except for check camera, so he was safe there. I knew he had a good chance of living until the next year. This buck the year before was actually a typical 6x6 with a few extra kicker points here and there, but pretty slick horned. So I knew, if anything, giving him another year was definitely going to give this buck a little bit more as far as horn growth. So sure enough, fast forward a year, preseason, didn't get any pictures of this buck. Early season, nothing. So I was a little bit concerned that this buck had either moved on or possibly gotten shot by another hunter. Right before Halloween, right before muzzleloader season, this buck just showed up out of nowhere one day, checking trail cameras, and boom, there he was. So pretty surprised, but pleasantly surprised that this buck came back. He actually just stuck around, made it kind of his home area again, and we were able to pattern him pretty good, narrow down at least the block of timber that he was staying in and spending a lot of his time in. The rut got going pretty good. We started putting in a lot of hours on stand trying to see this buck. Saw him several times. He was actually pretty visible during the daylight, especially the morning hours. Couple close calls, but we just couldn't get into that stand with the wind directions the way that it was all that couple weeks there. Couldn't get in close enough to where we needed to be, so all we were doing was seeing him at a distance. During this time, we hunted a couple more stands, and I actually tagged out on another whitetail buck that I'd had several years of history with, was also on the hit list. We tagged him. Awesome buck in itself. Maybe do another video over that buck as well. But anyway, right in the peak of the rut, we woke up one morning, the wind was right, weather was perfect, overcast, and we just kind of felt like this was the morning. So sure enough, everything kind of came together that morning, and was able to get about a 65-yard shot on this buck as he was trailing a doe past our stand. So anyway, hope you enjoy this kind of video. I'm going to try to get some more of these out on Instagram and use this page for my hunting and fishing and outdoorsy type stuff. So anyway, if you like it, thumbs up, leave a comment, whatever it is that you do here on Instagram. I'm still trying to get the feel for it all. But without further ado, here's the video, and hope you enjoy. Good morning. It's just sun's just now starting to peek up over the trees. We got an arrow in our target buck, our big buck, 65 yards, coming across this field. I'll show you here with the camera. I saw him early with a doe, and I knew that she was going to want to come back to this timber. Sure enough, she came out, but I was hoping that they would hug these trees right here, using cover to get back to that timber. And she didn't. She came out here. She was about 60 yards out in this field. And I was able to range her, and he came through, and he actually took a few steps the other direction. I was afraid he was going to get out of range. But I was not going to let him get by without getting an arrow at him. So, hit him at 62. As I drew, I watched him take a few more steps and grunted at him. The worst part about that was that I had to grunt at him and put him on alert. He knew something was up. So when I shot, I got settled in. I felt good. Let that arrow go. I felt real good with it. But during that arrow flight, I couldn't see my arrow, but I saw him duck and turn away. He was turning hard away, but I heard that arrow hit him, and he ran. I watched him run probably 30 yards, and I watched that arrow fling out the other side of him. I didn't go all the way through him. So anyhow, we just got out of the stand, walked out here. I think I found his track right here where he was standing, and I'm going to show you the blood. Instantly there was blood which is a really good sign. Anyway, we're gonna go here and I'll show you my blood. I saw him kick that arrow out, so we'll follow the blood until the arrow. I haven't found it yet, so. Right there in that tree, that tall cottonwood there's where my stand was. He come out of these trees here, headed back over here to these trees. So, all right, here, let me show you something. Not sure if you can see that or not. Let's try to find this arrow, and that'll tell me more about what we're going to do next. Oh my goodness, look at this. There's my arrow right there. Oh, number 6, I know. Folks, I think we got a good arrow in on him. It's pretty bright, but it looks like I got pretty good penetration, so we're going to back out and come back in just a little bit. I'm going to leave that arrow right there. I left you right over there with that blood. I found my arrow, and I said, well, as he was running off, there's a dead tree between me and him, and he on the other side of that dead tree, and I didn't see him come out, so I said, well, he followed that kind of in line with that tree to the edge of the field and ran off. Pretty thick, the edge of this tree right here, he can't see out. So I said, well, real quietly, I'll just follow this blood through this field and mark where he went in, then I'll leave and come back. That way I can start in the timber, not out here in the field. If you can see the clouds, kind of thought it was going to drizzle, and I was kind of worried about that. So I'm following this blood. I wish I could turn this camera around, but I can't. Following this blood. I thought he went in the timber right there. So you can imagine how I almost crapped my pants when I get next to this little brush pile with weeds, and he's freaking laying right there. Come on, let me show you something. And then that's what I saw laying in the weeds right there. Look at him, come here. Got a bunch of grass all over him. Weeds and stuff. Look at that, folks. Talk about a stud of a deer. Right there, come on. I noticed that he was turning as he was going to leave. And I guess it honestly slid it right in there where it needed to be. I hit him about that last rib. So by the time the arrow got there and he was turned, hit him in the last rib, and I guarantee you once I open this deer up, I bet the back of his liver and lungs are eat nuts. He only ran this far. Big old body deer. I'm gonna get him out of these weeds and get him loaded up and stuff, but man, what a freaking deer. What a hunt. Man, what a deer. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Had fun making this little video of my biggest whitetail buck to date. Got him again with archery equipment. Wound up scoring 165 and 3/8, I believe. Anyhow, capped off a pretty good year for me. I'm trying out this new Instagram TV, so I wanted to make this little video and put it out for y'all. But again, thanks for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you on the next one.